Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kanitsu, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch episode 41st of Anime Monster. So our adventure in Prague begins. Let's see what happens in this episode. Let's go. Alright. Yeah, I wrote down his name. He has a funny surname. Beer is like, I think it means beer. So he's like a beer man. And he was a director of that Kinderheim 511. So Mr. Grimm wants to know more, like what happened in that Kinderheim and how children were abused, I guess. What we're trying to... Damn, this man looks like he has been through a lot, like he has seen like the hell on earth. Okay, so that was the intro scene, pretty short. I already there was some time actually, like I recorded all the previous episodes like to the 40s, like a few of them that have already seen that I've uploaded actually like more than a week ago because I went on a trip to another city. So there has been some time since I saw episode 40, but I kind of scrolled through it before making this reaction right now, and I wrote down Mr. Grimm's name and Mr. Bierman's name. That's going to be easy to remember, I think, because it's pretty fun. And his name Reinhardt is also pretty easy to remember because I like playing Overwatch and there's a character named Reinhardt here. I don't see any changes in the opening so far, to be honest, because I think someone told me that there will be some details because we saw the ending changing, and I think someone mentioned that the opening has to change too, but so far I don't think it does. And these words on the window, I assume are words from that book about the monsters. The chip in the head, still, I think it's pretty peculiar. I wonder. Okay, let's see what secrets we will uncover in this episode. Maybe what director of Kinderheim is going to say. Ghosts of 511. So, okay, it is about this Kinderheim. So is this going to be a flashback or not yet, at least? Dude, he's like in this constant state of... Yeah, brainwashing doesn't sound very good. Okay, so Mr. Grimm... I wonder how much he knows compared to what we know. Okay, he does know a lot. That's interesting. It's cool to see the mention at Soviet Union. So his interest was purely scientific. I just recently thought about it. If I don't forget, I'll talk about it more after the episode. It's basically a similar idea to see them as ants or to see them as guinea pigs. Like some similarities. of some people being like also partly monsters and seeing other people like that. But still, oh, but the cute moth. Okay. Yeah, he wasn't there. Oh, so he thinks he was better at this than his successor. I guess he's pretty good at digging for information. Dude, his eyes. So creepy. And he keeps such a friendly face while doing this questioning. That's cool. But he said that experiment was a success. That's actually an interesting phrase to see. So he isn't, he doesn't regret it. What I was trying to say. Oji-san. I'm just wondering, is he the actual grandpa? Or... Okay, his grandsons, I see. So he wants to... Is he nice to them? I guess yes. I guess we can't really say because we saw what happened to Dieter, but we can assume that he wants to leave this life behind, but he still thinks that his experiment was a success, and if he was still there, the failure would not happen, so he doesn't regret what he did. That's my opinion, at least. Interesting. Some info or another threat? And also I just wanted to say that... Oh... Okay, a threat. A threat it is. And he got it. I guess he is very experienced, I think. He understood immediately, and I thought like a threat would be... Not that. Not actually trying to attack him. And he understood what was going on and that he has to scram. I wonder if that's his experience as a spy or as a journalist. He did say he was a spy, right? Free, that's the main word. That's true. Being free is the best. Freedom is the most important. I guess Mr. Petrov was hoping that he has already gotten rid of him. That's a pretty nice lifestyle. Interesting. He still says that it was a success. Like, as as a scientist, some of them can do immoral things, but in the end, if we put limits on science, it will be limited, right? Our research. And even though these people do terrible things, we can't argue that it can still move the science forward. It's a very gray area question. Chocolate. Oh, that looks tasty. So as a scientist, I think he still, and the things he did something interesting and important for science, maybe in psychology. To many children? So they are not his actual grandsons after all. He still continues experiments. Did he think the same? But what he intends to look for? His flat? So, just like that man, he's still this terrible same person? I don't remember his surname. I have the former director's surname. I guess the one he named as a success. Ah, wait. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. There's a lot of children. Okay, I'm not going to look for it right now. I'm just wondering, are they kind of like in a similar situation? Well, there's a lot, so we can say that it's a similar situation to Dita in that regard, because he was kind of working on single patient. But here he's continuing the experiment more like in Kinderheim with a lot of kids. Yeah, that is. I'm not too surprised, because at first when we saw him with his grandsons, I did ask the question: are they actually his grandsons or not? And they are so not disturbed. Like, nah, some guy just barged in. Like, who has? Okay, see, he said it was a success, and he wants to continue it. And maybe that's something similar to what Johann was doing when he was looking after children in Munich. Oh, Knedlik! Oh, it sounds so tasty. So she's just a nice neighbor, and he thinks he's a nice man that houses a lot of children. So what now? A new experiment? Or just repeating it? Wonderful. Well, I guess, in a sense, yeah. He's very emotional about this. He said it wouldn't happen if he was a director. Jochen? Yeah, he is talking about Jochen. Maybe that is part of success for him. Because they obviously do have different ideals and views on what is a success. He has to give the information. Okay. Interesting. I don't know, looks like he actually wants to free these children from this man. Oh, okay, they found this interesting. They were like so apathetic about everything, but soccer, that's different. That's nice to see them actually like enthusiastic about something. Looks like Mr. Grimm really likes children. But what do they want? Like, do they want to live? To leave, like, to go away? Maybe they are kind of treated well there. Maybe he doesn't beat them. And at the same time, like, freedom is very important for him. And he sees that they are not free there. But they seem to be fine with it. And we are not sure, like, are they just scared to admit? Or they are really being treated not that bad, and they are kind of okay with that. They have a home and nobody beats them. They seem to be capable of, like, laughing and loving sports. What? Now he thinks that it's a cover and there's some real place with real victim. Okay, I'm not sure. What does he took? What did he took off for? What is this? Anna? Does look like her hair, but why the atmosphere is suddenly so heavy? What the f— Poor lady. She was just an innocent neighbor. What the f— happened? Someone killed them both? But if the woman leaving was actually Anna Nina, I don't think she would shoot them both. So what actually happened? Was it someone else? So he wasn't doing anything bad? But who was after him? So is that Johann speaking about his past? That would be interesting. So maybe his methods weren't as terrible, and then with the new director and with Johann everything went to hell. And he is not doing anything bad with these kids. See, they seem to have emotion, they're sad about him. I'm confused about a few things, to be honest. But looks like he was a pretty decent guy, but who the... and where are the boys gonna go now? They don't have that caretaker anymore. And this poor neighbor also was killed. Okay, that obviously Anna wouldn't do that. So it has to be someone else who would like kinda... Their mom? She wouldn't do that too, I think. Okay, I don't know how, but why the heck would she need to do that, right? So who else we have? I don't know. It might also happen that it was Anna and she was there, but someone else killed them, some other woman. Okay, I'm confused. Can this really be their mom? And what was Johann's past? I guess we are going to see soon on the tape. So his methods in Kinderheim, he said it was a success and looks like everything went relatively fine when he was in charge, as far as I understand. But then a new director and Johann made everything go like way badly. Maybe you will explain something to me that I didn't catch in this episode, obviously without spoilers for the next episode. Maybe some things will become more clear in the future. And I also wanted, I think I already mentioned this, right? So I think there were a lot of scientists that did use moral methods and making experiments on people, and even though like we don't approve of that, of course victims were not happy about that, obviously, but we can't deny that they did make some discoveries. And I think that's what I first thought when I saw this man, that he's like fully a man of science, a scholar, like Mr. Grimmer said, and that's what was the most important for him, to do something for science, to discover something. And looks like he thought it was a success, and he did discover that love is the best. That's not a huge discovery, to be honest. And looks like here with these guys, he said they had nowhere to go, like they were abandoned, and he gave them home, and looks like they were pretty nice kids. They could be excited about soccer, they could laugh, they could have fun, and they also have empathy. They seem to love this grandpa, and of course they are very sad to see him dying, so they don't lack in love and in emotion. So looks like his education here was a success also. But he points out that Johann brought some darkness that his success, present director at that time, couldn't handle right, and that led to the destruction, so to say, of that Kinderheim. Okay, that's basically how I see this. I think there were a lot in this episode, in the dialogue, there were a lot of things that were kind of implied and not said out loud, and honestly I'm not very good with reading the subtext. I think it's much easier for me when people show the emotions on their face or just say something straight. So maybe I missed some subtext that was there. Okay, but that would be it for this episode. That was very interesting, even though pretty confusing for me, to be honest. So share your thoughts and maybe some explanations without spoilers, of course, in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and see ya!